We can talk about that last, though. Let's talk about the hotel first.
That's gonna bring some good stories from like, have you ever had anything weird happen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. All right, let's get to it because we've spent this is your cold intro, guys, because this is our third episode that we're recording like back to back to back.
Oh, we're tapped.
We're kind of getting worn out. This room is hot. I tried to open the window up a little bit and get some hot air out. I guess it kind of worked a little bit, not quite, but whatever. So here we go. And thank you all for coming back to us this week. I'm Chad.
I'm Amanda.
This is Chad and Amanda Talk Shit About. And this week we got a couple different stories here. Really more just to lead into just a lot of our own personal stories. This first one, we're just going to jump right into it because I'm out of BS to talk about that's not related to what
I never
we've
had
got.
any to begin with, really.
Like, I don't have any random stuff. I've already kind of talked about everything. Like, the stories that I got to tell now are all going to totally relate to what we have here today. Because I've got some, and you've got some.
We'll see.
So we'll see. I mean, you brought up the first one here, our first story here. This was on... This is a Colorado local news station. They're number 9 news. Man visiting the Stanley Hotel captures an eerie image.
First of all, have you seen The Shining?
I watched it once a really long time ago. I don't remember a lot of
I've never seen The Shining.
I can't remember if it's on Netflix right now or not.
No, but there is a documentary about The Shining. No, about like just how many messages did Stanley Kubrick bury in The Shining that are like and it's really? 2 hours long. I think it's 2 hours.
So like 2 hours long movie
of what
talking about another movie.
Yes, about what might have like hidden messages have been in The Shining. And I was like, I've never watched The Shining, but I would watch that documentary.
The only things that
because I feel like I'd be watching both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I remember about The Shining, as far as like there was the twins
through the door.
He comes through the door. Here's Johnny. All work
it.
and no play makes Jack a dull boy over and over again. I know there's a scene of the little boy riding the big wheel through the halls of the hotel.
Are those kids supposed to be alive? Are they supposed to be ghosts?
I thought they were supposed to be ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Because as far as I know, I thought it was only supposed to be just the family there, and maybe just a couple other people. But
he
visits the
Stanley. Okay, so Stephen King visits the Stanley Hotel alone, and that inspires The Shining, because he stayed at it alone one time.
Oh, really? That's the story according to the documentary?
That's the story according to this news story.
Oh, okay.
So somebody took a creepy photo of
basically just of a staircase.
Yeah, there's lobby staircase. They says it looks like a guy facing away, facing toward the window and away from the downstairs portion of the lobby.
Yeah,
and he looks kind of like maybe like a butler, I'd say.
It almost looks like a tux that's being worn.
Yeah, but they're like, oh look, it's stirring up rumors that the Stanley Hotel is haunted all over. Oh God, it's a short story, so.
Yeah, it says rumors that the hotel was haunted has prompted a visit from the show Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Hunters.
Yep. So I've never really watched the Ghost Hunters show. I used to. I haven't watched it in a really long time. But I used to watch Ghost Adventures on Travel Channel. I really got into that show for a while, just because it was fun. Because you got these like big old macho, hey bro type of, that kind of attitude guys, and getting scared shitless over stuff, which I don't know where I lie on the spectrum for stuff like this.
Neither do I.
Because
I don't know.
You get topics of our other show, Secular Perspective. We're very in that scenario. We're very skeptical people. I do tend to, when I think about it more now, I'm a lot more skeptical of that type of thing. But at the same time, looking at it from a scientific standpoint, I can accept that there are a lot of things in this world that we have yet to figure out.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily mean one thing or another. It just means that we don't understand yet. So looking at it from that angle, maybe there's ghosts, maybe there's not. I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own little ghost stories and things like that.
I've never had it where it's believable to me. Never. I think it's just me psyching myself out more than anything.
Yeah.
Whenever I've been like, ooh, this is weird.
I remember when we were kids, and I'm talking like little kids, like I was probably 10, 11, something like that. Maybe might even been a little bit younger than that. It was about the time, this is back in the days of VHS tape, whenever the movie 3 Men and a Baby came out. Do you remember kind of the ghost in the background, supposed ghost in the background in 3 Men and a Baby?
No, that's the thing. Because in The Wizard of Oz, there's supposed to be that
There's the
girl
guy
that hangs
himself in the background or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you've probably heard a different story. I heard it was somebody who didn't make the part of Dorothy.
I thought it was a guy. I heard that was the story that I heard. It was a guy that didn't get. I can't remember exactly what was going on, but yeah, I heard it was a male.
Do you know the Tin Man died? The first Tin Man got very sick because they put like paint on him that was
like lead paint on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he got very sick and dropped out. Then the second one came in
and then they used aluminum. I don't know, or just regular silver paint. I don't know.
So there's one in 3 Men and a Baby too. I've never heard this.
So what it was is like there's a scene. I can't remember the exact scene, but they pan across one direction or another, and you see right by the window. You see the outline of a person that's there when they pan one way, and they don't actually cut, or at least I don't remember there being a cut. And then they oops, hit the mic. Sorry about that. Then they panned back, and then it's gone.
What?
And there was like this whole urban legend that like, oh, there was a kid that was in that apartment and fell out the window and died.
Yes.
I think was the urban legend or something like that. And that was his ghost. But then when you go back and look at it, it's like turns out it was a cardboard cutout. I think supposedly of Tom Selleck. I think even who was in the movie. I think that was who it was supposed to be.
Wait, how does that just show up on set, though?
I don't know. But at some point, somebody had this cardboard cutout there. They panned past it at one point, but then somebody went and removed it, and then they panned
get
back.
That out of my shot.
And then they panned back, yeah, and then it was gone. So that's like the true story as far as what was going on set. Okay, so here we are, we're at my cousin's house, late 80s, early 90s, whenever this thing's on VHS tape. We'd rented it. And they were trying to find that scene. Like, we're somewhere in that area. Trying to rewind, fast forward, back and forth, pause it, doing whatever, okay? VCR glitches.
Yes!
Or at least we thought it was a glitch or something like that. But up on the screen, it says, now in hindsight, I realize now, being the tech guy that I am and knowing all that stuff, I know what it is. But it's time, it comes up saying go to, and then it had 4 little dashes.
Go to hell.
Go to hell. And we're just like, F this, and we turned it off. Now in hindsight, going back and knowing, I realized that it was actually 2 dashes, and then there was a colon there, and then 2 more dashes.
Oh, the time?
It wanted you to punch in a timestamp to take you to the timestamp in the video.
I love it.
But at that point, we're trying to find a ghost in a videotape, before The Ring was a thing even. And then it's telling us to go to hell, and we just flipped out and we just turned it off. We were done.
Maybe I have something like that because my dad's my dad's like a through and through Catholic. But he has his godmother, and instead of giving him stuff for Christmas, because there's the extra gift that you give somebody if you're your godmother. I don't know.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So she would give us stuff. So one year she gave us a VHS tape, and it was the story of Bernadette. You know how like the little girl that like heals people with water?
No.
This is a Bible story. This is a real Bible story.
I don't remember this one.
Bernadette, Princess of Lords? I'm not sure. But anyhow, right when the part when Bernadette is figuring out that the water heals people, our VCR went insane and started shooting out like the tape out of the... What? Yeah, it went insane. It was like, whoo, like throwing it at us like streamers.
That's tough. Just knowing, because I know...
As little kids, we were like...
how the inside of that stuff works.
It was like straight out of a movie how it shot that stuff out at us. I don't even know how it did it, because you think of a tape is like encased and
I mean,
like how does it slide out of there?
Well, the videotape opens up. There's like a little button on the side you can hit, and a little trap door. The long trap door opens up and exposes the tape. Well, then
it was stuck in our VCR too.
And once that's opened up, you can actually pull the tape out, because it wraps the tape around a little magnetic head in there. So that's how the tape gets out initially. But I can't figure out how it would have to have stopped reeling it in on one side and still kept feeding it on the other, and somehow it got out. I don't know. I don't have an explanation.
It's unsolved.
That's
to
weird.
This day, and we were like, "Oh shit!"
We need to get the Unsolved Mysteries guy in on that.
That's funny. Like when you watch Unsolved Mysteries, right?
It's been a long time. I did watch it some. I didn't go out of my way to watch it. I remember Mom and Dad would watch it, and I was always just kind of creeped out by that show because I was little.
Who wouldn't be creeped out by Robert Stack? He's got the creepiest voice.
Oh, I know.
I love it, but. One of my exes went out and bought the entire Ghost collection. So anytime it was an Unsolved Mysteries with a ghost story, it's on like these 4 set of DVDs. I had no idea there was that much to it. So we'd watch them.
How long was that show? Was it like an hour? I can't remember if that show was an hour or a half hour.
I don't know.
That feels like
know.
That type of show feels like it should be an hour, but I may be
probably
wrong.
Because whenever we watched it, it was a little 15-minute segment, and they would do like a couple, 3 or 4 of those in a show, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I had the whole Ghost collection for a while.
Jeez.
And I watched all these, and oh man, it's hard to take those people that are like, it was a ghost. Like,
right.
Like that's, I feel like they're waiting for that stuff to happen. That's the first conclusion they want to jump to.
Oh yeah. You will find when you really want something, you will find ways to make it be whatever you want it to be.
And I'm not saying they didn't experience the unexplained lights, right? Or the
that's just all it is. It's unexplained. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Or the sounds that they're. I'm not saying that they're not experiencing that stuff. That's just where they go first,
right?
And what kind of person do you have to be to call up a show like Unsolved Mysteries? Like, get over here.
We need to know what this is. Have you ever been to any haunted houses or anything? Like, and I don't mean like it around Halloween time. I mean like an actual, like, have you toured any places that were supposedly haunted?
I took the Haunted Gettysburg tour, the walking tour at night. That's it.
Yeah, they do one around Halloween. I want to do it. I have not done it, but over in Irvington, because they meet at the theater. They start there, and then supposedly.
Okay, you don't need the ghost aspect for Irvington to be scary at night. Like, you just need to walk the wrong way.
Yeah. But yeah, there was like a huge tour, because I remember, my buddies over at the Obsessive Viewer podcast do a Halloween thing there every year called Shocktober in Irvington.
Right,
and when we were there this last year doing it, it was at the same time that there was a tour going on. So before their stuff started, a tour group came through. There was like 300 people.
What?
Yeah. Like,
are these tours any good then? Do you know?
I guess. Oh, they're always packed, tons, and like 100 to 300 people, or might have been 200 people. I know it was in the triple digits, but like they crammed everybody into this theater real quick. Like it was just standing room, just everybody crammed in real quick. Like fire marshal would have been pissed type of thing. And somebody says something for like, it took them like 15 minutes to get everybody in. So somebody could talk for like 10 minutes about the theater, and then another 15 minutes getting everybody back out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's nuts. But it's a big thing. We should try to plan for that this year.
Can you film while you're doing it?
Probably.
Let's be ghost investigators and like film as it's going. Like,
maybe, I don't know. There was the local PBS station was actually following them, filming, doing a piece on it this year or this last year.
As part of my job, around when it's light news, this was when I worked in Florida, I had to do a piece on the haunted spots at the beaches, and it had some history, so it was cute to put together.
Yeah,
I talked to a couple that were like ghost hunters. I was trying to get them to talk more about history of stuff and like, do your research places before you go in, and they're like, no, we like to go in absolutely cold. Like, okay, so basically nobody that is involved with the history of that place is going to talk to you because you don't know about it, basically.
Yeah.
And then she kind of went crazy and started talking about if you can feel people's spirits, and
she's talking about the cold.
No, not even about that, because I could have used that. She started going into God, I can't even recreate it now. I'd even have to look at my notes because I was probably writing down, this woman is insane. Because she wanted to more make me believe in it instead of just saying.
Rather than telling you what she did, she was just trying to convince you.
And she was like, I could probably read your mind right now. And I'm like, all right. She's like, well, I'm not prepared. And I'm like, oh God. Because she was the psychic one of the group that lures them out, but not she really thought she was too.
Wow. No, I right after. Well, we got married in September. We didn't do an immediate honeymoon or anything. We waited until February, and then we went down to Georgia. Went to Savannah.
Oh, that's a nice place. I like that place.
And we actually stayed on Tybee Island, which is right there by the ocean. Yeah. Thought it was going to be great. Going to wake up, but crack of dawn, see the sunrise on the ocean. Got my video camera ready to go. We're going to film this shit.
Yeah.
Open up curtains. Fog. And we're talking thick fog. It was just so anticlimactic. But while we were there, we drove back over to Savannah. Did a bus tour around the town. You did the haunted Savannah? And we did the haunted Savannah tour. We did
I wanted to do that one, but I had my dog.
What we did is we actually did a haunted pub crawl.
Oh, that's cool.
So
you're drunk, you see all kinds of things.
And I don't drink. Or that much. I don't drink that much. But what it was is we went, it said, there's going to be a guy that shows up in Confederate uniform that's going to give you the tour of all these places.
A real guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a real guy. The
ghost gives you the tour.
Exactly. But what's cool about Savannah specific, I don't know if it's just specific to that city, but their open container laws are kind of lax. So you can, so as long as it's in a red Solo cup, you can take a beer out on the street and go from bar to bar.
Wait, the bar lets you take it out?
Yes,
too? Okay,
you can take it with you as long as it's not in a glass container. It's in a Solo cup or whatever. It's coming with you. Cool. So they said, just meet at this one specific restaurant, Moon River something or other, or Moon River Brewery or Brew House. I can't remember what it was called specifically. But we was like, it's a restaurant. We'll just go eat there, and then we'll go right outside and meet everybody. Not thinking that, this is the first stop on...
Everybody's got that idea.
Yeah, I was just like, I want to go eat, and then... So we just go outside and then go right back inside. And it was just us and another couple of people, because we're in the off season. He said they're super swamped around Halloween. We're there in February. Yeah. It's chilly. We've still got our jackets on and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it was us and another couple. And he took us downstairs to the basement, because they used to do storage stuff in the basement. But they have these big wooden pillars that's used to help support the building. And he said, back in the day, the early 1900s or whatever, they used to store, it was either lions or tigers down in the basement. They were chained up because that was one of their amusement things for the people, was they had live lions, and they still had the claw marks in it from when lions were sitting there because they were bored and they were sitting there sharpening their claws on the post. Because there's a scratching post. They're basically cats, so they needed a scratching post. They were using for that. But then they start telling ghost stories about stuff that happened down in the basement while, employees are there. There's some billiard tables off to one side. And there was one girl there that, you couldn't mistake her for anybody else. I can't remember what her name was, but just had a shaved head, just really short buzz cut hair. I think she had maybe a nose piercing or something too. You'd recognize her if you saw her somewhere else. And she was telling some stories about stuff that happened to her when she was in the basement and all that. But then later when I get home, I look up this place because they said that the Ghost Adventures place had been there, and they had interviewed her. I was like, oh my God, I recognize her. And she basically on the show is telling the same story that she told us.
Oh.
But this building is four, you've got the basement, then you've got 4 floors. And
that's a
It's a big building. Yeah, because I don't know if it's like used to be a hotel or something like that, or just people used to live there. But the only two that are actually usable is like, you got the basement, and then you got the main floor for the restaurant, and then the second floor is basically just opened up, and that's where their office is at upstairs. You can't go to the third and fourth floors because they're just so dilapidated that it's dangerous to take people up there.
I would love to go up there.
So, of course, the Ghost Adventure guys go up to those and everything.
They get to go up there.
Yeah. But, they were telling stories about, there's several times that people have tried to renovate that place and just stuff happens. Like one day the foreman forgot his lunch at home, so his wife brought it to him, so she's there eating lunch, and then the wife got shoved down flight of stairs and stuff like she actually felt a push and fell down, like broke a leg or broke her arm or something like that. Yeah. But while we're there,
I love that kind of stuff.
But while we're there now, I don't know how much of this is, it was February because I had my coat on. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it was just us and another couple of people and then the tour guide. But, he's like, a lot of people see like this woman in a white dress in this room that we're in and stuff like that. But they talk about, if a ghost is in, or if you're in the presence of a ghost or whatever, you usually feel kind of like a cold chill or whatever. Like you just feel tingly or whatever. He didn't mention that until later. But the whole time we were up there.
You didn't know that?
I didn't really know that.
What?
I hadn't really done, I wasn't into the ghost thing yet until after we did this. Okay. So the whole time I'm up there, I genuinely kept feeling like a cold, and I had my coat on. But at the same time, I'm thinking, they've got the heat on downstairs. Heat rises. This upstairs should be kind of warm. I mean, it wasn't like the walls to the outside front weren't really insulated, but they had their office up there. You would think they would have it heated, and I just kept getting these weird chills that I didn't know until later. I was like, I wonder if there was something going on there.
Anything?
I didn't see anything. They said you're allowed to take pictures while you're on the tour, but you can't do video and you can't do audio recording. They specifically restrict you on that stuff
because there will be all sorts of amateur
Yeah. So, I shot a couple pictures, nothing ever showed
I've
up.
never had the cold feeling or attributed it to that or anywhere. Had any, doubt about anything ever. Oh.
But we went to, we did that first, and then he got a phone call and saying that, there was supposed to be 2 tours going on that night. Like, he was doing one and somebody else did another one. And he said, the other guy called in sick, which is pretty much his code for he drank too much last night. So, he's like, so we got to go pick up this other tour group. So you guys are basically going to get an extra hour because they're just starting. There's an hour offset. So you guys are going to get an extra hour or two and get just a couple more things for the same cost. So we walked over and we met these other people. So there ended up being 6 of us on the tour, I think. And, we probably hit 4 or 5 bars. And just you go out and he tells all the ghost stories about whatever particular bar. But I remember there was one we were in that, nothing actually happened. But it's just toward the end of the night, and you've got all those creepy vibes going on, and they're like, okay, I'm like, I have got to go take a pee. So they're like, okay, well the bathroom's upstairs, so you got to go around this way, go upstairs, and then down a dark hall, and they said the light is motion censored in there, so you go in, it'll just kind of wave your hand and it'll come on. But I'm like, damn it, if I'm in here too long, the light's gonna go off if I don't move. So it's the whole time I'm trying to pee, and then doing this, waving, trying to make sure the light stays on because I don't want to get trapped in the dark up there.
Oh, you got the heebie-jeebies.
I did. I was just kind of just because I don't want to chance anything happen.
See, when I went on the
nothing
tour,
happened.
When I went on the tour in Gettysburg, you're looking at there's honest to God still cannonballs buried in the brick in the buildings because they were pretty ineffective. They would just sink in there, boom, you know. And then there's bullet holes and things that they still have in these really old buildings. Well, old by American standards. Mm-hmm. And they would talk about how the one, it was a school now, but it had served as a hospital during the war, and limbs were just piled outside of it that would just get so high because they were doing so many amputations.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because I guess the bullets wouldn't kill you, they just make it so you needed to lose something off of you.
Huh.
And they led us through a graveyard at the end of it. And I was like, oh, this is weird, but not because just because I felt weird, not because anything weird was happening. We were just standing there, but just getting the history of it while, and all the gruesome details. Because it functioned more as like a really gross history of war than a ghost tour.
Right. I could see that.
Because I think they tried to do something in the graveyard where they tried to shine a light or something and said that you could see something. Of course, no.
Yeah.
Didn't see it or anything like that.
I remember them saying something about certain lights in certain areas in Savannah. I can't remember if it's like a graveyard or something.
I feel like lights and stuff that would come there's always something with lights.
Yeah. Well, I never saw anything the whole time we were down there. But, yeah. So that's our ghost story portion, I think. Or do you have anything else? That was really good. I just have those two stories, though.
I like your Savannah one.
Yeah. That was a fun time. I'd love to go back down there.
Actually,
it was really cool.
We were telling ghost stories. Have you ever tried to tell like a good realistic ghost story around a campfire?
Maybe a long time ago. I don't remember.
My friends and I were trying. I think soon after I came out of college, and we were trying to tell as realistic ones as we could that seemed plausible.
Okay.
And my friend, he's like, look, I have a real one, you guys. Like, this isn't a joke. I'm going to tell you about, the time I was showering, the hot water just completely cut off. And he's like, I didn't think anything of it. So I went into the basement, turned the hot water back on. It flipped or something. He's like, so I go back up and try to, resume my shower. Yeah. So then he says it's gone again. He's like, go back there, flip it. Then I walk back upstairs. Then he says I walk downstairs a third time. And he's like, I flip it. And I start to walk away. He's like, but then I turn around and just look at it. And he says he can see, the dial moving back on its own, really, really slowly.
Weird.
And can hear it.
Huh.
And we're like, my God, that's the weirdest thing that's ever happened. He says, that never happened.
He's just messing with you.
Yeah. And we're like, wow, that's fucking realistic. We were like, you won, dude. You told the most realistic one. It was a great one because you need them to be just
realistic enough.
But something weird does happen during it. So I would like to make up one where it's good like that.
God, this could be really mean. But
to who?
To you.
Oh, well, that's fine.
No, just hear me out. Do you scare pretty easily? Do you watch very many horror movies or get scared very easily? By no means am I going to try to do this now. I'd have to do a lot of setting up.
If I watch a horror film, then immediately I got to go to bed and you got to snap the light off. You're like, cool.
Maybe we'll.
I tell you what, when I was a little kid and in the late 90s, the one that screwed me up the most was I think The Darkness Falls. Have you ever seen that one? Oh, it's dumb.
I remember the name. I can't remember if I watched. I think I did watch it.
It's
once.
like a tooth fairy that only comes when the whole movie's supposed to make you afraid of the dark, and she only comes when the lights are off, and she comes for you, and you only see her.
You said it was like the tooth fairy or something.
Yeah,
like
it was like a tooth fairy situation.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what I was thinking is it was supposed to have been a full-fledged game and it got canceled, but they created kind of a playable trailer for it, okay? And actually they just called it PT. It stands for playable trailer, okay? It's only on PlayStation 4.
What does that mean? Playable trailer.
Playable trailer. So it was going to be a trailer for a video game.
But you can.
But you would actually play it.
Oh, it's testing it out.
Kind of.
Okay.
Okay. The whole thing, Guillermo del Toro was going to direct it. It was going to be with this other real big hot shot.
A video game?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was going to be another hot shot. Well, the whole thing fell apart.
Damn.
There was a whole big hot shot video game designer. Was going to work on it with him. Norman Reedus was going to be in it. It was going to be like a Silent Hill type of thing. It was
going to be gold.
And I don't know what happened. That's, people can go research what happened on that. But I downloaded this trailer before. You can't get it. They actually, once everything fell apart, they pulled the trailer. So the game or the demo or whatever you want to call it. So you still have the trailer? I still have it. And you really can't delete it. It's creepy because you're in this loop. But there's certain triggers that have to happen that advance it through. And there was people that was really getting into it, playing it for hours, discovering all these weird little things. but it is creepy. It is so creepy. But I was like, oh my God, like that would be so cool. Because I know what happens in parts of it. And there's still parts that I never finished it. Like I just find at this point I just turned it off. But it's kind of they do this weird filter where it really is almost photorealistic in a weird way.
Ooh.
Like kind of like you're looking at an old photograph or something.
Do you know?
But it's like this weird loop. Like you go through this door at one end of the hallway and you come back out. And there's like a few little doorways here and there along the way. You just keep rounding a corner. But there's stuff that's happening. It's like, oh, that might be kind of fun. But it would be kind of mean if you're not into it. As I say, it'd be really neat to like have you play it and I'll hook up my capture stuff so we could see what's going on screen and then also see what is going on while you're playing it and I'm watching.
What are they called when you have to? I'm so stupid for video games. You have to forgive me. When you navigate somebody around, what's that
like
called?
Like a walkthrough, or I don't know what you're navigating. I don't know.
It's like single player.
Just like a first-person shooter?
First-person shooter.
Yeah, it's from a first-person perspective.
Okay. I'm terrible at those. I will just stand and run into a wall. Yeah. Like the whole time.
Yeah.
And cuss.
Yeah, well.
But if it's scary, I'll cuss some more.
Oh, yeah.
Because
and it may be one of those things that maybe we'll do it maybe over my buddy's
brother-in-law,
house.
I love him because I have to, like, if I want to see a video game, I make him just play it for me. Yeah. So that's how I, like, and I'll just watch him play it. It's dumb. But he had a Slender Man one. Do you know the Slender Man?
I do. Yeah,
I love the Slender Man.
I have that.
Like, oh, it's like not even that well done. The Slender Man one.
It's really.
And I was getting creeped out by that
very general,
one.
basic concept because you got to go around and like you find like there's 8 pages hidden around in the woods or this. There's like a small area with some buildings and stuff too, but you got to go around and find these 8 pages without him catching you.
And you start pop up out of nowhere.
He pops up, and if you turn around, he might be there, and you got to hurry up and like.
I'm like, there's Slender Man.
You got to book it and run the other way.
I like the Slender Man. I like all the made up ones, the creepypasta. I like that stuff. Even though it's like teenage stuff, really. They're the ones into it. But I would fully support a Slender Man movie.
I think they might be making one.
I watched. Did you see the Babadook?
I've not. I've heard about it. It's on my list of stuff that I'd like to watch. Was it? Is it good or not?
I wanted it so badly to be like a good boogeyman movie. And it was there, man. He's scary. But it turns into more like it's the woman's demons.
Oh.
And it's her psychological thing.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, fuck. I wanted it to be a real...
Yeah. Did you see Krampus?
No. No.
I kind of wanted to see that one, too.
I kind of do, yeah.
Yeah. So... we could probably go on forever about scary stuff, but... We should move, unless you've got something.
I don't have anything.
We can move on.
No, we can move on.
Because this other one could take us a little bit too. So this one is more of a warning to people to be careful. I remember when the first story came up. I didn't link to the first story. I only linked really to kind of one of these. It's more of an aftermath of it. But there was a woman in Seattle that went out on kind of a blind date from somebody she met online, and then she just disappeared.
No,
Well, at first she disappeared. They didn't know where she was at.
Yeah.
That was the first story.
Yeah.
And a couple days go by, and then they finally made an arrest, and it was pretty much
as you'd expect.
Yeah, I was first thinking, okay, who's the last guy that would have seen her? It was the dude that she met online. So I'm not really going to read much of the article.
Well, they found like body parts, like in scroll up. They found body parts in like a recycling bin. There was like a foot in a bag.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I didn't really... I think I read the original article and then I saved this one and never went and read
Scroll up above her photo. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So he's scattering the parts around and just a couple wound up in that recycling bin.
But yeah, so...
This is a really serious story.
It is, and it's depressing because somebody is dead because of this story, and I don't really intend for that to bring the show down. But I was like, okay, I went on a few online dates and stuff, and when I did it, I mean, I don't know if this lady did anything like this or not, but in those couple times that I did, I always let people know where I was going to be. Like, I always made a point to tell a friend, like, listen, this is specifically where I'm going. Now, here's one that's kind of stupid. One of the first ones I did, we went out a couple times, and then I actually went like away on a weekend trip to a friend. Didn't tell my mom and dad, because this is when I was still living at home even. Didn't tell mom and dad. I was like going on a weekend trip to Fisher's, spending the weekend up at somebody else's house. They thought I was hanging out with Chris. It's like I think I remember, I was just like, oh, I'm going to Chris's for the weekend, and I was going a complete opposite direction. But Chris knew where I was at.
How likely is it that a lady's going to come?
That's true. That's true, but you never know.
Yeah.
And luckily we turned out, we didn't really work out as, dating buddies or anything like that, but we're still friendly. We do, we didn't talk for a little bit, and then she looked me back up, a few months later and was like, listen, a bunch of us are in a group, we're getting together doing stuff. You want to come hang out with us?
That's really
like,
cool.
Yeah. And I ended up becoming really good friends with a lot of these people in this group. Cool. So, I don't really talk to them much anymore because, you get married and you just kind of lose touch with people. Sure. But, a couple of them came to the wedding. Well, actually, this girl and one of the other girls that I was in this group with came to my wedding. That's really
great.
But then there was the other one that I really have more of a story about. It was more out in Greencastle, I think is where she was from. And I can't remember. I can't remember if it was on Match or Yahoo. Back when Yahoo Singles was a thing. I think I met her. Oh. This is like really going back.
That's great.
So, even the first girl, she only had her profile on there for like literally an hour. And I found her and sent her a message within that hour.
Oh, you're so creepy.
Like, it was just one of those, like, it just kind of hit just right. Because she's like, yeah, all right, I'll give this dude a shot real quick. But what's weird, she just got divorced from a dude named Chad. So then I became Chad too, amongst all the friends. I was fine with it, but just everybody knew me as Chad too, and I wasn't a dick. Like, he apparently was just a big dick, but whatever. But on this second blind date I went out on, I'm pretty sure I saw a picture ahead of time. I think, pretty sure I did. I might have went into it blind. I don't remember, but I did, and it was like a good little drive out, because like Greenfield's probably good 45 minutes, probably outside of Indy, I think. So, and I knew I wasn't going to make it all the way back home, so I was going to stay either with my cousin or with my buddy Chris that lived up on the west side of town. The story isn't that boring.
I know it's help late.
I know
it's
hot in here. It's warm and it's getting late. But so we get out there, and it was minor dates, more or less just watching movies in her apartment.
Yeah.
And my first red flag was she made pizza. She just made like a bake it in the oven pizza or whatever. She didn't have a pizza roller or even a knife to cut it up with.
She doesn't have a knife?
She didn't have a knife, like a good knife. Okay. Well, hang on, like a good sharp knife to cut it up with. Okay. So she pulls out like scissors and cuts the pizza.
What kind of animal?
And I'm thinking, oh my God. And they were just like, and I knew that they had to be like the junk drawer scissors.
Oh.
So I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to be a story to tell for sure later. But this is so weird. Oh, I had to. I was starving and I didn't want to be rude. So like I suffered through that.
Bro.
So that was the first date. We may have watched a movie. I think we may have just spent a lot of time talking. She made a point to tell me, and I don't know how true this was, but at least if this is all true and it wasn't just a attention ploy, then I commend her for being brave enough to say it. But she made a point to tell me up front that she wasn't going to have sex. I was like, okay, that's fine. I wasn't expecting that anyway. But she's like, oh, somebody I had a date with here, a week or so ago, they raped me and now I've got some kind of an STD from it or whatever. Like, went through I was like, wow. I was like, I never put anything on the table, but you're just throwing all this stuff out.
She just turned her purse upside down.
And just, I know. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I can't, and luckily I can't remember this chick's name. Like,
good.
For
that's good that you don't remember.
So I don't remember her name. I can kind of remember the face a little bit. And that gets into the second part of the story, but you have something to say.
No, I'm just Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep
okay.
going, because
So that was date number 1. It never made it past date number 2.
You wanted to.
I went on number 2.
You did?
I went on number 2.
No.
I was hard up to get out of the house and go on a date.
God. Plus, you're driving all that way.
I'm driving all the way out there. Okay.
One time I broke it off with a guy because I just didn't want to drive an hour to see him. I was like, nah, I'm not that into it. He was like, I appreciate your honesty.
So second trip out. Okay. I get there and she's like, oh, we got to go pick up my sister. We're gonna double date tonight. I gotta go pick up my sister and her boyfriend. They're over at my parents' house. All right. I figured it would just be a real quick, them run out the car, whatever. Oh no. I had to come inside, met the parents. I'm like,
how old are you when this happens?
I'm trying to think.
Just give me
I
a
was
range.
working at the movie theater at the time. Because I let one of the ladies there know that I worked with.
Oh my god!
This is what's going on. This is the address I'm going to. So if I don't,
so
come
are you
back,
a 20-something then?
I'm early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably 23, 24, 25 age range, maybe even 27.
What?
No.
You're allowed at 23 because that's a weird year.
Yeah, 23, 24 probably. No. Hang on. I can tell I was 25.
Okay. That's borderline.
I had to do some math about some other stuff.
That's borderline acceptable behavior for a 25-year-old.
Yeah. I had to do some math about other stuff that I won't get into. But yes, I should have been in the 25 age range. Okay. So we get out there. Awkward. Yeah, hi, I'm Chad. Nice to meet you. With the dad. Yeah. It was very awkward. We were there longer than we should have been, which was like 15 minutes. It felt like half an hour to an hour. It was just ridiculous long. So anyway, we ended up going back to her apartment. Well, then something happened. She ended up, we watched a movie, all that stuff. I think we ordered pizza this time. I was like,
did
we'll
she
order
cut
pizza.
it with?
No. It came tore up enough.
I hope somebody cut all the way through that pizza.
I'm pretty sure yeah. So we get through that. She ends up having to take the sister's boyfriend home for a little bit. So I get stuck behind with her little sister for a little bit. And then she comes back. And then somehow or another the sister was gone again, I think. I don't remember the sister. I feel like the sister disappeared for a little bit. But at one point in time in the conversation, we're sitting there on the couch next to each other. She makes a face. Now I need to rewind for just a second. Okay. The very first time I'm out there, she has her hair done like these Ellie Mae Clampett pigtails. Okay. You get where that I'm just going. Just braided pigtails. Okay. Second time she has her hair down, much like yours hair is down. Okay. It's just a darker color hair. She goes and she makes some face. She starts laughing about something, makes some kind of like a cheesy type of face or whatever. And in that moment, I saw my sister's face.
Oh.
And I could not get the fuck out fast enough. It was the most Seinfeld moment I've ever experienced. And I've met Jerry Seinfeld. So at that point, I'm like, I have to get out of here. Like, this is so awkward. Like, there's no way I cannot date this girl. I can never bring myself to kiss this girl because all I see now...
You hadn't kissed, right?
I had not kissed her. I'd only give her a hug bye at this point.
Okay, good.
So I was like, I need to find a way to get out of here right now. Because it's already getting late anyway. So I start slowly making my way toward the door. And it was an hour later, I think, probably past that. I was like, I need to be kind of nonchalant and cool about it. I can't just be a dick and say, I got to go right now.
I don't know if you were like...
But I remember...
I just remembered I got raped too. I got to go get checked for STDs.
So anyway, so we're standing at the door and giving her the hug bye. And she's like, all right, yeah, I'll talk to you later. And I'm thinking, yeah.
No.
Maybe not. And I just slowly just faded into obscurity. We might have messaged like one time after that and never set up a third date.
The fade out's the cruelest.
Kind of just faded.
Just cut it.
Never told her why. I was just like, kind of like that little image of Homer Simpson just kind of fading back into the shrubs. I was just like that. I'm like, I'm out.
See,
I'm never coming back.
If you were sure that you weren't gonna, you didn't need to message her at all anymore after that. Like, you needed to just disappear.
I'm out. Yeah. It was.
Or give her like the unequivocal, like, hey, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. But whenever I made those trips, I wrote down her address and I handed it to a lady I work with.
Really?
And said yes. I was like, just in case if anything weird happens, because I'm not telling my family where I'm going. Because they would
I would tell my family.
They would just have a cow.
Why?
Because they're uber conservative.
Oh, and you weren't supposed to like go on blind dates?
I guess. Blind dates with random people that far away that I met online.
You know, this story tells us otherwise, but internet dating kind of is the way to go if you want to find somebody that has your interests. Yeah, because it's
very specific. Like, I didn't meet my wife online, but I met through mutual friends.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to be married for 5 years. So 6 years ago I used OkCupid.
Okay.
And they do pretty extensive.
They ask like a whole bunch
of questionnaires. Yeah, and it'll say like 9%. Or it'll be like 90% friend, however X enemy that you are.
Okay.
It is cute because I met my husband through online dating, and it would say like, I think it said we were 93% friends and 7% enemies. So when I fight, I'm like, this is your 7%. 7% coming out right now. So our first date though, I didn't know him. I had a mutual friend to find out later. But I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
And we went for a walk in the woods with his dog at a place I didn't tell anybody that I was going to. And I was like, my mom's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Are you nuts?
And I was like, yeah, I am, because and I only went on like 2 other internet dates.
Yeah.
But I didn't even bother to Google the guys beforehand. I guess you could do that, And this guy had a felony theft.
Oh, yeah, he had a
negligent driving, 2nd-degree felony for aggravated robbery. Which aggravated robbery, isn't that where like he had a gun or something?
Probably, yeah.
Or something where he was threatening harm. I don't know, but Googling people would be a good idea, I think. And I didn't really practice that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Google wasn't as big of a thing yet. Back when I first started.
Oh, it was.
I don't think, anyway. I don't remember.
It was for me, though, and I never thought to do that. That's kind of stupid, now that I think about it.
Yeah, because this was, like, early to mid-2000s, so...
Yeah.
Like, it may have... Google probably was just really starting to become a thing.
You had Ask Jeeves.
We did have Ask Jeeves.
You would have had to ask Jeeves about this dude. Or this lady, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's... I don't really have... God, I mean, I have my
I would tell my mom when I was going on a blind date. I would tell her, like, generally where I was. But with my husband, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Good thing it worked out. Maybe, I guess. Yeah.
Well, now, like, we went on a walk. He brought his dog along. So I was like,
okay, well...
The dog won't let me get murdered. And he wouldn't have now that I know him. He would have, like, flipped out. Yeah. He's a crazy dog. I love him. He's my dog now.
You just adopted him, and he's just taken over?
Yeah, when I met him, he was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's 11.
Yeah.
He's my dog.
He's just become your dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. No, whenever me and my wife were dating, like, her and her sister had a dog kind of together, and that dog hated me. He gets along with me now, but he lives with my sister-in-law.
Oh, See, okay, so your wife and her sister live together.
Live together. Yeah, the one sister that lives like 5 minutes from us now. They lived together in an apartment whenever we first started dating.
I lived together with my older sister for for like a year, and it did not work out. It did not work out. You know why it didn't work out? Because she moved her boyfriend into our 2-bedroom apartment, and he basically lived there.
Oh.
Like, I was sitting on the couch one time in a towel watching the Salem Witch Trials on PBS.
And here he comes walking.
I hear a door open, and I'm like,
who
the fuck? And he has a key, and she never told me.
Oh, my God.
It was awful. So I just, like, stopped coming home a lot. I would stay at my boyfriend's and stuff. And she would get mad because I wasn't buying milk and stuff like that. And I was like, what do you expect me to do? This dude's living here.
Make him buy the milk.
This is your apartment. Yeah, I know. My sister and I have had some serious fights over the years.
And wait, is that you said that was your older sister or younger? Wait, are you in the middle or are you the youngest?
I'm in the middle of the girls, and then I have an even younger brother.
Okay.
So it's like, I got my older sister, who's bossy. I got my younger sister, who's pretty much just like me, crazy. And then I have an even younger brother.
For those just listening, all I did was just kind of rolled away from her when she said she was crazy. So yeah, I think I'm kind of tapped out for right now for online dating stories because I only did it twice, and the one worked out. I mean, I became friends with her. I don't really talk to her that much anymore. She lives up in Chicago now, but
my younger sister set me up on one time. It was awful because the guy had like that bass in his car that I absolutely fucking can't stand. Yes.
I hate that. Yeah.
And like I could not hear anything, and he's like, "Look at my cool car," and then he turns it on, and it's like, "Doom, doom." Like I can't hear him. I hate this stuff. It's some rap that I pretty much hate.
Right.
And then he's yelling at me over top of it. And I'm like, "This is the worst ever."
Yeah.
It was like a nightmare being trapped in one of those cars. Because I get mad when one goes by my house. I'm like, "Oh, that pissed me off."
Yeah, you don't really get that too much here. I can see how closer to your house you might get that. You get that here. I'm sure cops are going to be coming out chasing the dude.
Yeah.
Like, turn that down. Yeah. So, anywho, I think we should call it done at this point. We've been going about a little over 50 minutes. So, I think it's good. So, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, leave us comments in the comments below. If you're listening to us on the podcast, make sure you come back next week. Listen to us again. As far as I know, we should have another episode next week. I know we're taking next week off from recording, but I am technically kind of a week ahead on recording stuff. So I don't know how it may just put me right back kind of on par with this show.
Where you have to get it up like the next
We're actually,
day.
Yeah. So we may have to do some weekend recording at some point after you get back. So we'll see. So yeah, we also, I need to get some guest people on here with us at some point, and keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That may be like one big day of just.
Oh, I'm there.
Okay, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Then. I just don't know what your schedule's like, but yeah, it'll be a Saturday.
Neither do I.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We love you. Catch you later.